Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Lisa. Now you might look at this and ask yourself, how did my kitchen get to this point? Honestly, I ask myself the same question every day. And since we have quite a few new subscribers, I just want to give a little backstory while I empty all of these shelves out. So late last summer, my daughter Jada and her husband Ashton decided they wanted to build a house on our land. And they also had a baby on the way. So they came to stay with us for a while so they could get all of their ducks in a row, because basically they just had a lot going on. When they moved in, it was a really busy time of year for me. So we just kind of threw all of Jada's kitchen things in with mine. We had the intention of sorting it all later, but we didn't. We both love to cook, but we cook a lot different and we use totally different equipment. So things just kind of got shoved wherever they would fit. And before we could get to the organizing, life just kind of got hard for a minute. I shut down for a while. I stopped making videos and I stopped doing other things that I love to do. I was basically just going through the motions of functioning for a while. Then the holidays came, and after that, the baby arrived at the end of the year. She came a bit early, and she actually had some issues going on. It was nothing major, just some stuff. And honestly, when she first came home, none of us were getting any sleep. At one point, I was awake for nearly 50 hours straight, if that gives you an idea of how wild that ride was. But now it's today, and here we are. Life isn't quite as chaotic at the moment. However, it's about to get really busy for me again. But before that happens, I really want to get this kitchen together. Right now, it's barely functioning. Everything needs a home, and I just really need to figure out how to make it work for both Jada and I. So I figured the best way to tackle this project was just to clean everything out and start from scratch. Now in this video, you're going to notice that it kind of jumps around a little bit, and that's because it took me several days to actually finish this. I just kind of worked in chunks, a little here, a little there, until it finally all came together. And I also want to be really transparent and let you know a couple of things. First, I gave myself a budget of $200 for this project. I didn't really want to spend $200 on reorganizing, but I knew it was going to make my life simpler and it was going to help us just finally get it together in here. And the other thing that I want to tell you about is there's just a little bit more to this mess than just disorganization. The other layer has to do with my cat, Piper. She was 17 and she had some neurological issues that kind of just slowly changed her behavior over the last couple of years. We were never really sure what happened. Maybe it was an injury or some kind of illness. We just don't know. As she started declining, I started making changes throughout the house, not only to keep her safe, but to make sure she was still living her best life because she was, kind of old. So I didn't really block her from any of the rooms or restrict her in any way. I just really kind of adapted the house to fit her. But now that she's no longer with me and I don't have to worry about her safety or her behaviors, I can slowly put things back together. And one thing that has surprised me during all of this is just how much I actually changed and rearranged and adapted for her. But I shouldn't be surprised because, that's just what you do for somebody you love. So now that I've given you a little bit of the backstory on why it looks like a tornado just recently touched down in this space, let me tell you what I have going on. One of the first things I want to take care of is getting my canned pickles and peppers that I made last summer out of the pantry and put them back where they're supposed to go. And since the shelves were empty, I took the chance to wipe everything down really well before I put them back. So our kitchen used to be in the dining room and we moved it into this space. all of this shelving and the counter frame Vincent made for us custom. The frame is actually steel and is very, very strong. I really wanted open shelving instead of cupboards and cabinets because I knew the kitchen would be small and I thought that having open shelves would give it a more spacious feel. And it does, but at the same time, there are some drawbacks, like not being able to hide your clutter. I kind of feel like the trade off was well worth it though. And I do have a couple of ideas how to fix the clutter issue that I will show you as we move forward. Now, this jar food needs somewhere dark and cool, and this corner provides that. I had to move them because of Piper, and so I just put them in the pantry. Being able to move them back will open up a lot of space for us. And I know there's a lot of them, but I promise we do eat them. My grandkids love the pickles, and Vincent loves the peppers. There's also like tomato sauce and stuff down there too. So once I got everything moved out and put back in their forever home, I just went ahead and swept that bottom shelf and wiped it down really well. And so one of the first things that I bought for this project was this can organizer. Now I could not figure out how to put it together to save my life, so I called in the big guy and he knocked it out in no time. Then I'm going to start on my part of the pantry. I was using the top part for my things, and it was a complete disorganized mess, and it really needed some love. So I just cleared everything out, swept it out really good, and gave it a good wipe down. So now I'm going to jump to this little project that I actually asked Vincent to build for me. Every organizing or cleaning video I watch always says to use your vertical space or your dead space, and that's what I was thinking when I kind of came up with this idea. I have this nice little area between the fridge and the wall that is really usable. Maybe not for like something really big, but you know, it is usable if you kind of get creative with it. So in his garage, he uses a pegboard to hang a lot of his tools on. And that was the same idea I kind of thought of. I could use a pegboard and then I would be able to move things around as I need to, and nothing would be like permanent. And then I thought, what if I put it on some like drawer slides so it can slide out when I need it and then be tucked away when it's not in use. It was pretty simple for him to build actually, and install it was pretty easy too, and actually it kind of does help with some of my clutter. Okay, jumping to the next project. So I watched this channel and it's called Shelby's Cottage, and I love her channel. It's very nice videos she puts out. Anyway, this one video I watched of hers, she showed she has a refrigerator and it's set up kind of like mine between a wall and a counter, and the part that faces out, that faced the counter, she actually put paper on and she decorated it. And I honestly love that idea, so I'm gonna copy her. You know what they say, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. So that's what we're doing. I've always thought that my kitchen needed some more color and texture, and when I saw that, I knew that's just what the space needed. When I found this paper on Amazon, I just love the color, and it stays in my color scheme that I have in my kitchen already. And I love the flowers because it brings in the yellows and the whites and just adds another layer of color without being overpowering. It also adds movement, and I really like that too. Now you can't really see it on the video, but the paper actually feels like wallpaper instead of like that slick contact paper. And I like that. I thought it was great. It's a really nice texture. Now, this project really was fairly simple to do because the pattern was easy to match up and the seams weren't visible, which was nice. That was something I was kind of worried about. However, the roll was smaller than I anticipated because I'm not good with measurements, honestly. And so I was only able to cover the top half of the fridge with the first roll, and I had to order a second one, which was no big deal. It just took like 3 days for it to come in. I asked my son Daniel if he liked it, and he said it's very grandma-ish. And I said, perfect, because I'm a grandma. Now I ordered this little thing. It's to help organize all of your baggies. It has like 4 different sizes of baggies you can put in there. And it's something that baggies are really something that takes up a lot of space in our pantry. And this little thing was super easy to install, and I honestly think it's going to help a lot. You can put it in a drawer or you can hang it like I did. And the amount of space that it takes up hanging it on the door like this is less space than the individual boxes would take up on the shelf. And I just think it worked out really well. I really think it's something we're going to use quite a bit. So I ended up using the scrap pieces from my contact paper to cover the wood frame around my pegboard. The patterns didn't really match up too well, but really it's not very noticeable. I thought it would just add that little bit of extra something to the room. Because at first I wasn't sure if I wanted to stain it or paint it or what I wanted to do. I knew I didn't want to leave it just, naked or natural. And, I seen this scrap laying there and I thought, waste not, want not. And I thought, it might be kind of cute because it'll just add that pattern somewhere else in the room. And the texture and, just all that stuff. And I just thought it would be a really good idea. And it turned out really cute. I just kind of had to piece it together. So it took me a few minutes to get it done. But it didn't turn out too bad. I mean, if you look really close, you can really tell that it's just, like scrap pieces slapped together, but just a real quick glance and you won't really notice at all. I like the way it came out. I think it looks really cute. And I did get a little sink caddy as well. This honestly has really helped keep my sink area a little more tidy and a little more organized. We keep our sponges up here, our dish soap, the baby bottle brush. Yeah, it's just nice. So I'm going to start on this cabinet. Now let me just tell you a little bit about this cabinet. I actually bought it a few years ago at a yard sale, and I believe it was like $10. I had every intention of redoing it back then. And I did actually get started on it, but I got distracted and didn't finish it. At the time, it was fully closed in and it had doors on it, and the top part looked like a bread box, and it was really cute. And I originally wanted to paint it white with black letters, kind of that rustic farmhouse theme, but I'm really glad I didn't finish it after all. Now I'm going to use it to hold my trash can, and it's also going to serve as another flat surface just to kind of clean the clutter off of my counters. So I just took off the back and took out the shelf, and I cut off that little wood part, and I just finished sanding the top. Now it's got a lot of little dings in it, and it also has the holes where the screws were at, so I'm going to fill that in with wood filler and smooth all of that out. And since the top was already sanded from when I started to redo it before, the bottom still needed to be done. Um, and I just went ahead and flipped it over and sanded it. Now it was handmade. And so the finish, it was just really simple to come off. It wasn't thick and hard like from a factory or something. And so I don't know if I told you, but I cut the panels out from the sides because I want to add chicken wire to it. Now, after all of this wood fill dried, I just went through and sanded everything back down and just wiped it off with a wet towel and got it ready to paint. So I'm gonna paint it and add chicken wire to the sides. But I'm not really sure what the name of this color is. I got it in the clearance section at Menards. I seen it sitting there and I thought, oh my gosh, it would so match my color scheme in my kitchen. It looks kind of sagey to me. I'm not really sure. And so anyway, I just put one coat on. It's really good coverage. It's a Pittsburgh paint and it's an eggshell. And it's really pretty. I really like the color. It's a little lighter than the wallpaper or my trim, but it's still really pretty. I love it. And it only took one coat to cover everything. It did a really good job. So then my second roll of the paper came in, and I started to cover the bottom of the fridge with it. And for some reason, I have no idea why, but the second roll gave me the hardest time going up. It kept bubbling and it kept creasing. So I would have to like pull it up and then smooth it back out and then pull it up and smooth it back out. It took like probably double the time that the top did. I'm not really sure what I did different. The top was really easy to go on, but this second roll was a pain. So I ended up getting a little card, just to kind of help smooth everything out, but it helped some, but not a whole lot. So, I was just really patient and just took my time because I wanted it to look really nice. I didn't want it to look all, jacked up. But yeah, finally got it done, and it looked really cute when it was done. And it didn't really have a whole lot of flaws in it. I was able to get most of everything out, thankfully. But man, did it try my patience. So I picked up this little picture frame. I think it was like 50 cents at this church rummage sale down the street from us. It was really cute. And I had these magnets that I picked up at the Dollar Tree a long time ago. And they have little adhesive on the back, so I just stuck it on there. And I put my very first chicken friend's picture in it. That's Hennifer. And I just put her on the fridge. And I just love it. I just think it's so cute. And Hennifer deserves a place of honor. So now that paint is dry, I am going to try and get this chicken wire stapled in. Now, this staple gun is a nightmare to use. I'm not really sure what's wrong with it. Something is wrong with it. So it took forever to get that on. And then I just put the back on the cabinet, and I used some scrap pegboard that we had left over because the wooden back was kind of chewed up and banged up. And then I used some leftover contact paper to cover the back that's going to go on like the top section. And I think it came out cute. I like it. Now I'm gonna start putting everything away and kind of put everything together. Um, I have homes for everything now, and all of the shelves are wiped down, and they really are ready to go. So I'm gonna start with the pantry, and the top shelf is gonna be mine, and the middle two shelves are gonna be Jada's, and the bottom will be kind of shared, like paper towels and things like that. And the very top cabinet is going to be for like my baking supplies because I do a lot of baking. I did buy two Lazy Susans. One is for Jada and one's for me. All of the baskets and boxes I'm using, I already had. It's just really nice to have some stuff to help keep the little things together. And it really helped with saving space and organizing and all that kind of stuff. So I also bought these little plastic containers. One was for Jada's rice and one was for my oatmeal. They're a lot easier to stack if we need to stack them instead of just having bags floating around the cabinet. So it came out really handy. All of my baking supplies, like I said earlier, and all of my ingredients and stuff went back up to this top cupboard. And I'm using some baskets that I already had. And now that they're all together, it's just really going to make it a lot easier for me to find what I need instead of, digging and hunting and playing guessing games. And then for my dishes, I decided to use one of the racks that I had previously used in the pantry to like stack my plates on, and it kind of just doubled the space. So I put the plates on the top and then the bowls on the bottom, and then there's still space there for my grandkids' little dishes that I have for them. And then this section, I like the idea of stations. So on this shelf, I made it like the coffee station. It also has Jada's like tumblers and our to-go cups, and it has the coffee syrups and the French press and the coffee grinder, all that kind of stuff, because we do take coffee very seriously around here. And it's very nice to have everything in one area instead of just kind of spread out everywhere. All the extra coffees right on top in that little basket. So I'm gonna jump again. And I came across this idea to use curtains over the bottom shelving. And honestly, I loved it. So that's one of my other little organizing things. So I got into my curtain hoard and I pulled out an old pair of curtains I had. I cut them in half and I went to Menards because I wasn't sure how I was gonna attach them onto a steel frame. I didn't know if I could use a regular curtain rod and just like super glue it. But lo and behold, I found some magnetic curtain rods. I didn't even know they made anything like this. But they do. So that was kind of serendipity. So they just kind of snap right onto the steel. And they hold the curtains really well. So I was really excited about that. A couple of things though. I do like the look, It will help me hide some of the clutter that I have that I can't help but have. However, I don't think I like these particular curtains. I think I want to go with something uh that has maybe a texture or a pattern of some kind, something maybe a little lighter with more movement. But I absolutely love the idea and I absolutely love the look. I think it will definitely set the space with a warm, cozy, sort of farmhousey, country vibe kind of thing. What do you think? You got any suggestions? Um, I would love to know and just leave it in the comments below. So I brought the cabinet in and I love how it turned out. I think it's going to do exactly what it's supposed to do and it's going to look cute while it's doing it. So that's good. Now, Vincent made these little wooden spice racks for my pegboard. They're gonna hold the extra spices that don't fit on my other rack near the stove, the ones that we don't use like every day. And it's also gonna hold our cooling racks. And you would not believe how excited we are because now our cooling racks finally have a home. They have been homeless for a very long time. And now they finally have a place. So that's great. So that's pretty much everything. I'm going to show you where I started and what it looks like now. I'm going to do like befores and afters. Um, and it might still look a little cluttered, but it's an organized clutter now. And an organized clutter is way better, let me tell you. I just want to say I hope you enjoyed my kitchen makeover. And if you did, I'd ask that you hit the like button. And if you think maybe you'd like to see some more of my content, maybe just subscribe to the channel. And as always, I really appreciate your time. I always do. And thanks a lot for watching today, guys. And I will see you on the next one. Okay, bye.